God damn.
All right, we're good.
All right, roll it.
How's it going, Nomad Nation? It is your Nomad Gamers. Back at it with another episode of the Nomad Gamers podcast. Today, again, I'm followed by Kaiser Chungus and Godfather, and we make your Nomad Gamers. Well, I left myself out of it, but I don't really need an introduction. um, to those who are watching us on our Facebook, thank you. We still need like 15 followers or 15 more followers before we can go live.
Last I checked, it was 12.
12.
Yeah, numbers matter.
I mean, I haven't checked the Facebook in a hot minute. Usually, I'm not the one that does that.
We can tell.
Excuse me. Um,
Oh, now we bore them.
don't make me come over there.
You won't. Hmm.
um,
Just bring it, jabroni.
but as soon as we hit 100 followers, I know we keep stressing this a lot. But as soon as we hit 100 followers, we will be able to go live. And I think when I say this, and I can't stress this enough, I think we're finally ready to go live on Facebook. We're itching for it, or at least I know Godfather is. To
I go live every Tuesday and every Thursday.
As for our YouTube, thank you guys for those who are following us on or
Hey,
watching
you're
us.
muted, by the way, Fireball.
I am not.
On your stream, you're muted. Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Zonar says you are.
There's no
Ooh,
way.
you better go check that.
There's no way.
Mm-mm-mm.
Where am I muted at?
On the mute button.
Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
Okay.
Well, I'll finish up where he left off. To our YouTube
Yes, please do.
viewers, thank you for your continued viewership. We appreciate it. We love getting interaction from you guys. We love hearing, seeing the comments and looking at the analytics. It gives us a bit of faith to continue doing what we're doing. So please keep commenting, keep leaving likes,
Yes.
subscribe, ring that
Yes.
notification bell so you know when we upload and bring you this glorious content.
Also, follow all three of us on our Twitch pages as well.
Yeah, all
Every
three of
follow
us.
counts.
Every follow counts. You are an important building block in this community. With
Well,
that
they're
being
the
said,
only block in this community.
yeah.
What about now? Can you guys hear me better now? I think it was because
I can.
I turned on my audio on StreamYard.
Mm-mm-mm. So, how about we just knocked the elephant in the room out. Like everybody knows what the very first comment is going to be. What is the first topic of conversation for us nomads? The GTA 6 second trailer drop. What you guys think?
Um,
I understand why it's delayed.
yeah, I totally understand why it's delayed.
I don't. We're talking about a major industry
Yep.
who says they were balls to the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And like Crust Rider said on Talking Tuesday, it's a whole shareholder management thing, wanting to make money, and the development team saying they can't do it. Well, enough excuses.
Hold on, real quick, just so that way I can hear myself. See if people can hear me again. Am I better now that with my mic audio?
You're actually topping out over here.
Because he says he is so quiet, you can't tell if he's super quiet or if another mic is catching him.
Is
Who's that?
Crest Rider said
this is
that.
not is your
About who?
Streamlabs set correctly?
Yeah, my Streamlabs is set correctly. I made sure that before I even started everything.
Just do a dope check for me.
I'm picking up.
And
The thing is, I'm picking up mic audio through Streamlabs, and I'm picking up desktop audio. So I'm not too sure where it's coming, where I'm getting messed up at.
There's no other mic enabled on your system or anything like that.
Um,
mute your desktop.
what's going on with my? Something's going on with my. I'm having technical difficulties. I apologize. Um,
Did you mute your desktop?
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Or- Okay. Well, while he's finishing that up, you want to keep going there, Chungus?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. I get the whole devs capabilities versus what any shareholders or any upper management may want. Um, they
Did
set
you
some
happen to
pretty
catch?
realistic um, timelines for themselves, and they were not able to meet that. Now, does that happen all the time? Quite literally, yes. In the gaming industry, it always happens. However, given the track record we have specifically with Rockstar, given that they still have released to us that they are still hard at work and even shown us it's not gameplay footage, mind you, right? Actually, it might be.
Yes,
I'm
it's
not
just
sure.
cinematic.
I don't know. I genuinely cannot tell you if they showed any sort of gameplay at all. Because who's to say that they haven't changed how HUDs look or anything like that? And like, there's a clip from gameplay that it just transitions and looks like that. So it's a whole lot of speculation. There's not a whole lot of facts there in that regard. However, given seeing this trailer from even the first trailer or even the fucking pre-alpha footage I saw that got leaked, the, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The details that they have given us, the scope that this game is gonna be, I'd rather let them cook and soak in the fact that we have to wait another year than have them release hot garbage.
I think
Let me give you this as a something to chew on real quick. When was the what when was there a bad release from Rockstar? And I mean true awful to God piss poor release.
I can't.
I can't
I
think
can't
of one
think of one.
either.
Exactly. We have to recognize that while we want to set a standard for this industry, we want to have companies adhere to their own timelines. Hold on. Have the companies adhere to their own timelines and be transparent with us. You know, I I don't want to give them much leeway, but I'm going to trust Rockstar. I've trusted them before, and they've never steered me wrong.
If there's one gaming company that I trust wholeheartedly when it comes to a development, um, it is Rockstar. Hold on, let me turn down my mic audio real quick. Maybe that'll help because I see what God's Father just did. Am I being heard better now?
You're still the same for me. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, that's why I'm asking the stream.
I, I know he blew my ears off.
Because
I
it's
get it, man.
I it might just I don't know. Hold on.
Let me try restarting your stream.
Well, the thing is I'm looking at my stream on Twitch right now and it says I'm coming I can hear myself coming down pretty well. I can hear myself coming out pretty well when it comes to audio. So I don't know if it's if it's my thing or if it's something that um
All right, we'll wait for the comment. Just keep your eyes
yep,
peeled on it.
I will.
So
But
I guess where I fall at on this is I'm very disappointed. And did you catch the new release date that they're
Yeah,
talking
May
about coming out
26th.
with now? Was it May or March?
May.
May.
It was May.
And this
So we have
is
to
like
wait. We literally have to wait a year.
and this is the thing that I feel like when it comes to again, there are no bad Rockstar games that came out on release. There's a significant difference between from Fireball to Gauze and Chungus. Am
Yes,
I
we are in 3 separate locations.
Am I still able to be heard though? That's my question. Is my audio better, or do I just need to fully restart everything? Because that's. But back to what I was saying. I can barely be heard. All right.
Put the mic in your mouth, boy.
Yep, the mic's
There's a
too far away
noticeable
from you.
difference between you and Godfather.
What about now? Can you hear me better now? With me being closer to the mic.
Hmm.
Hmm. I don't know. A bit.
That's where the screen comes
Yep.
into effect at.
He said that's a bit. It's a bit better. So I think that just this is where I'm just this is what it's gonna have to be like for the day. I do apologize. We will be working on this here very shortly to figure out mic problems.
Your audio just completely changed.
You got way worse, honestly.
My audio just got way worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing to your mic over there, but
Yeah, I'm muting him until he figures it out.
no, keep that on.
Hold on. I'm just trying to see where it's at. All right, try it now.
All right, start talking.
Okay. But like I was saying, there's not a bad game that has come out from Rockstar at launch. We can all agree on that, right?
Yep.
And we. Oh, that's way better. Cool. We're good. And I'm okay with them. Uh, I'm disappointed that they have to extend their delay, but at the same time, I agree with Chungus on the fact that extend the delay. Bring us out something that is polished and ready to play instead of something that a lot of shareholders want you to force you to push out too fast, and the game has a hard time booting up. The game has a hard time trying to run, and you get a bunch of crashes like 76 did. Um, you just they're making sure the game's polished, and from what I said,
Well,
from the alpha footage that I saw, and everything. One, we don't actually really know how. Do we have a confirmed map of GTA 6?
Not a
no.
confirmed map yet, but given the
They gave us.
locales given from the we definitely it's confirmed Vice City with the second trailer
I
and any
saw.
surrounding county with it. So that's
I
can only
saw
tell you so much.
6 different locations in the trailer.
Yep.
Well, okay. Hold on before we start going even further. I consider, and this is for any game, not just Rockstar. If you have to delay your game a year, it's already a failure. It's just like it's not booting up. It's just like it's blue screening. You have issues. You can't sit there and tell people it's coming out and then delay it by a year.
Okay,
In my eyes, that is the same as a blue screen, it not booting up or it not running properly.
okay, but here's the thing. You can sit there and delay it, and you can be like, hey, sorry, we have to delay it because we have problems going on with the game and we need to fix them. Instead of just letting it release, you're gonna. And this is where Fallout 76 failed, is because they let the game come out. They said, here
When
it is. No, 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 no,
when
no, 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 no. You're gonna let me
when do
finish.
you hold them accountable? When do you hold them
You're
accountable?
gonna let me finish this, okay?
I've already let you finish.
They You are going to damage your player base for that game if you release a game too early and it has all these bad crashes, bugs, and you can't fix them right away rather than delay the game and fix them before you launch. I would rather them delay and fix before they launch, because if they do that, you are going to be able to the hype for the game is still building. We haven't seen anything out of Rockstar yet. We haven't seen anything, or we haven't seen any gameplay out of GTA 6 yet. They are still building hype around the game, and people are still excited to play GTA 6, unlike when Fallout came out and you had all those problems with blue screens, crashes, and bugs that they finally they were like, this game's unplayable. I'm going away from it. And you lost
So
75% of your player base because they saw what the launch was like and they're like, it's unplayable. I'm done playing it.
so are you done making excuses for Rockstar right now? When do you hold them accountable for their failure?
Hold on. Crest Rider said, your game is not a failure because you delayed it. Gaz has no chill when it comes to this game. You hold them accountable when the game is out, not before.
Oh,
You can't hold somebody accountable for the actions they have yet to take. You can hold them accountable for the actions they have taken, and they have given us advanced warning. Hey, it's not coming out this year. If they would have given us this, hey, it's
when
delayed,
was the advance
uh,
notice?
The
4 months
game,
before
yeah, I
it's
was gonna
supposed
say
to
the game's
launch.
supposed to come out was
No,
supposed to.
the official statement came out Monday or Tuesday
Exactly.
saying, and that with a Rockstar letterhead, that's official.
Right, I understand that.
Everything else is speculative. So what the hell have they been doing for the past 3 years?
But didn't the advance notice that Chunkus is trying to say is that the game is supposed to be coming out in fall of 2025. They said this was the advance notice they gave us of for like 4 months beforehand saying, "Hey, we have to delay." They didn't wait until the release date coming up in fall and saying, "Surprise, we have to delay." They said, "Hey, here's an advance notice. GTA 6 will be delayed till," and they gave us a definitive date this time instead of just saying fall of 2025,
So what's the definitive date?
March 20 or May 26th or May
May 26,
28th.
2026.
Yep,
What day? That's
May
definitive.
26th,
May 26th,
2026.
2026.
I didn't see the 26 part. I saw 26 for the year 26.
He said, Crest Rider said they delayed by 6-ish months and gave you 6 months advance notice of the delay.
Still garbage.
Then don't buy it. Don't play it. You have your opinions on it, but you sit here saying hold them accountable. You hold them accountable by not purchasing it, by telling them that you're unhappy with this and you won't be pre-ordering it. You won't be getting the super edition of it. You won't be
Oh
spending
yeah,
any
we
money on their
all. Oh, I'm
product.
not getting the super edition. I'm getting the edition, but I'm not getting
See,
the super
Then
edition.
there's
that's
no that
that's my
didn't
exact point. There's no point in arguing that hold them accountable if you're not going to do it yourself. See, there's this whole
Mm.
thing within the industry, the consumers and the developers and the companies at large. People always want to talk the talk, but they never walk the walk, right?
Thank you, Crest Rider. You basically explained it the way that I was trying to. Gaz is acting like the game was due out May 5th, and they announced the year delay on May 2nd.
No, what I'm saying is this. Okay, you two, along with me, have always preached we need to hold these guys accountable.
Right.
Exactly.
You guys are acting like this game was just a brand new idea 2 years ago, when we all know that's bullshit. They've been working on this since probably Red Dead 2 launched in what, 2017, 2018. What other game have they come out with?
Well, they were working on the definitive edition, and that was a bust.
They had a third party work on that.
Oh.
That wasn't the main studios.
So what is their excuse? See, this is where I'm getting upset with them at. What other game did they drop for us? It's not a Red Dead 3. It's not a Grand Theft Auto
You
6.
think it takes so? You
What
think it's?
what
Hold on, I
other
just want to
what other
state.
game what other game did they drop for us?
Do you? How long do you think it takes to make a game? Like in your experience,
Well, with my experience, I have no experience in it. However, if it's Bethesda or Rockstar, you're looking at over a decade.
name any other company besides Call of Duty that uses the same template to make a game that releases
Nintendo,
games annually.
Nintendo,
What games do they release annually? That's not the same template.
Mario.
That's not the same template.
It's not the same template. They have they have different types of Mario games. You've got Mario Kart. You've
You know
got
what?
Mar.
I'm done. I'm done making excuses for these gaming companies taking a decade to put out a stupid game.
Hold on. Chris Ryder's got a couple of comments. He said them delaying the game to make it right is them taking responsibility to provide a good product.
How do we know it's wrong? How do we know it's busted? How do we know it's wrong? How do we know that it's not behind schedule? Being behind schedule and it busted is two different things.
And then he said, quote unquote, because the game isn't done, end quote. Clearly, you have forgotten how much shit they have
What
stuffed into
what
games.
other game has
I
Rockstar
want you to answer my
dropped?
question first as well, real quick though. Again, besides annual releases of games that use the same template, what company releases games annually?
Annually? I didn't say for every year.
Hold on. Okay,
Annually is every year.
we'll
I'm
go
not
we'll go
saying
we'll go
every
easier.
year.
I'll do it easier for you. Every 4 years.
Every 4 years?
Yep.
I can't think of any off the top of my head because I wasn't prepared for it. Here's what I'm saying. It takes a decade to make a game. A decade?
How long did it take to rank RDR one? From RDR one to RDR two, how long did that take?
I don't know. I've never looked that
I
up.
can answer that question for you. It took 8 years, almost a decade.
Yeah. And I wasn't happy about that either. Wasn't happy about Fallouts.
Okay.
It seems like this is getting longer and longer and longer. And I agree with some of the people that I'm reading on social media where they're showing these ladies who are very young and in their bikinis. It says when GTA 6 finally releases and they're elderly women. That's the way it's starting to feel.
Crest Rider just said they haven't been working on it for a decade. They probably only started working on it 2 or 3 years ago.
Uh,
Like
uh,
we talked about this before. When we talk about actually developing a game, we're talking about like the vision boards and
Stop real quick. We did already talk about that. I do have a response from Rockstar talking about why they delayed the game release.
okay.
You know, this huge issue of people, devs specifically, getting burnt out, losing passion because of crunch time, because we keep trying to push out games quicker than they need to be pushed out and not taking the time to truly just develop them. Well, that's the reason why GTA 6 was delayed, so that they can avoid crunch time fatigue for their employees.
And I can respect that.
I
okay.
can respect
Okay.
that because they're taking care
Listen
of
to
it, but
this.
they're
This is coming off.
go ahead.
This is coming from Rockstar. Okay. I just Googled when did Rockstar start working on GTA 6? Rockstar Games began preliminary work on Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2014.
Preliminary work. You know what
14.
that means, right?
Preliminary.
Yes, I know it. Okay, I'm done with this.
I'm just stating
Let's
because you
move
keep
on
trying
because
to
I'm
bring
gonna
up points. You keep trying to bring up the points of they started work on it in 2014. Preliminary work is not the actual work of the game. That's them coming up with the ideas, the storyboarding, trying to get everything down before they can actually put any lines of code up to start building the game. When did they start building the game is the real question you want to ask for, not when they start working on it.
Crest Rider just said what Chungus is saying is exactly what I said yesterday, or for Talking Tuesday, or I guess that was yesterday. Wow. Okay. Um, I will say this because this honestly, them doing that gives me a little more respect for that company because they decided to actually they're giving their employees some more time instead of having a crunch time of 6 months and getting that burnt out because again we're we're all human at the end of the day. They are
what
keeping us
titles do they have?
they are keeping us in the loop when it comes to what the decisions that they are making for their game, mind you. It's not our game yet. We don't have access to that game. It's still their game. They are giving their developers, they are giving everybody associated to that project time to not push the red.
We lose Chungus?
Yeah, I think is because the door to the Shire was still flapping in the wind.
Oh,
Uh, Chris Ryder said preliminary work is not also not actively working on the game.
well, and they're also saying that they started building GTA 6 in 2014 as well.
I would like to see
Where's
that
that source at,
source.
please?
And the reason I hope that's directly from Rockstar, because I won't accept anything less than that, because there's so much speculation about Rockstar and about GTA 6 that you can't really tell what's true and what's not. Unless there's a verified like check mark or something verified next to that source, I probably will not believe it.
Oh, I exited out. I'm looking for it again. I went to something else.
Because again, we don't know much about GTA 6. Rockstar's kept this project so under wraps. Hell, a guy went to prison for leaking gameplay. I mean, we really can't we really can't say anything about this game without actually having a verified source from Rockstar stating that. Um, but again, going back to the trailer, I understand why. Even if it weren't for the whole they delayed it to give their employees some time to actively work through their burnout phase. There were six different locations noted in that trailer, right? This and GTA 5's got three, maybe four big locations.
I have it right here. Preliminary. Can't speak right now. Prelim.
Preliminary.
Preliminary.
Thank you guys. Work started in 2014 after GTA 5's release. Principal development started in 2018 after RDR2's release. So from 2018 to now, that's 7 years, right? My math is mathing. That's 7 years. Given the fact that it's going to be another year, that's going to be 8 years. That is their standard for game development that we have seen so far. They have a history of it taking 8 years to make a game.
Uh,
Too long.
Crest Rider says this, and don't get upset, Godfather. He says it really boils down to Gaz absolutely loves GTA, and he is frustrated that he has to wait longer. Welcome to me in October when Fantasy Life game was delayed with no release date.
Well, I'll answer that right now, and I'm not upset. I enjoy Grand Theft Auto. It's not my favorite game, but I do enjoy it.
You know, um,
I'm talking more industry wide than I am just Grand Theft Auto 6
See,
because I am highly irritated with how long it's taking these companies to bring out good content. You asked me about the every 2 years, every 3 years, or 4 years, or whatever. Uh, Assassin's Creed by Ubisoft. Our opinions are that they are garbage. That some of them are garbage. However, they're not crashing, and they have. I mean, go back and look at our episodes for that. We weren't noting how the story wasn't good. We weren't noting how the graphics were horrible. We were nitpicking at other things, if that makes any sense at all.
it does, but I stated using the same template. Assassin's Creed uses the same template.
hold on, I got something for this. We talk about how trash the Assassin's Creed game, and look how much Ubisoft is struggling, right? They're starting to have to sell off their IPs to other companies to stay afloat, or take a big investment from an outside company, like Tencent.
Hmm.
Look at Rockstar. Not a
All
Yeah,
in
look
single,
at them.
house.
all in
All in
house.
house.
Not a single game has flopped besides the definitive edition, and they did not work on that in house. Not a single game of theirs in house has flopped, and they are one of the most successful gaming developing companies in the world.
That's because they've been highly successful since the first GTA drop for PlayStation.
Exactly. Why are we trying to critique their ways of doing their work if they keep bringing out banger after banger after banger? I understand.
because the banger after banger after banger is way too goddamn long
I
from one banger to the
I
next banger.
understand
That's
that.
why.
And I'm gonna bring up this point with me and Chungus because me and Chungus joke about this all the time. We were 13 to 15 years old, and we had to have our parents buy GTA 5 for us.
Hmm.
By the time GTA 6 come out, it's just gonna be cash or card, sir. That's the ongoing joke that's going on not only with
Hmm.
Chungus and I, but with our
So,
generation.
okay, so let's shift gears. What did we think about the game besides the whole delay? Let's just casually walk away from the delay because none of us are going to agree on it.
I just have one more point real quick.
Uh,
Last point, and then we're moving on.
Yeah, I got a question for Godfather. What year did 76 launch?
76 launched in either 17 or 18.
It launched in 18.
I think 18.
What year did
Huh?
Starfield launch?
Starfield launched in
23.
22 or 23.
23. So I mean, 5 years between games.
Starfield's a good game.
Start
It's a
5 years
stable game.
between games, and it's rated as one of the most mediocre games from Bethesda. Um,
Well,
that's just
Bethesda's actually been falling.
again, you have your own opinions on it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
fight you on if the game's good or
Bethesda
not.
has
Just
been
looking at numbers,
Bethesda has been becoming weaker in their video games here as of late.
they
Uh,
have been.
Crest Rider said,
But
"Better to wait for a good game than to get a shit one that they're
Oh
pumping out."
Christ.
That's the
and I'm
last comment. We're moving
and
on.
I'm leading back into the
Yeah,
because my
yeah.
point wasn't done. I had a question for him, but leading back into circle around to get my point out was the fact that when we there's a bit of nuance to the holding people accountable. I'm not gonna hold you both accountable, and as gamers, because you both have different tendencies to do things, both have different skill sets, whatever. But mind you, right? I'm not gonna hold you to the same standard if I know God's Father brings out the best of everything, has not failed me a single time. He's Rockstar, not failed me a single time. I can trust in him. Fireball, your unfortunately to use this reference, your Bethesda or EA.
Does that make you
Time and time
Ubisoft?
again, you have proven to me that I cannot trust you in any words you say. You lie,
It
you
still make you
promise
rich.
things and you don't deliver on them. But there,
And that's
you see my point here.
but that's
I'm
where
gonna
we need to
judge
hold
you.
game. We need to hold
That's
developing.
what I'm saying. No. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna hold you to a different standard than I hold God's Father. God's Father has proven time and time again I can trust him. I'm gonna keep trusting him until he proves to me that I can't.
I know you
It's
said
not
that
about
Okay,
5 minutes
holding.
moving
ago,
I
on.
Crest
think the
Rider.
whole thing of like holding the industry accountable is that we're not presenting it with the nuance that there is in there, right? Just like you won't hold the same groups of people accountable for the actions of one or the actions of many. You'd see the one that's actually doing good, you'd praise them, continue supporting them, keeping on doing what they do great. While the others,
Okay,
I'll
moving
make
on.
sure I'll never trust them again, make sure that they are nowhere near me, right? Make sure that I'm doing my due diligence to make sure that they don't give me a product that's ass, right?
I mean, that kind of goes into the fact that
You want to know what the last
I've been
Bethesda
trying
title I
to
bought was?
hold on. This is the whole situation of I've been trying to get Chungus back into Destiny 2 because I need somebody to play it with, and he's
I
like,
fucking hate you for that, by the way. I fucking hate you for that. You want to know why?
you
I'm gonna,
re-downloaded
I
it.
scroll the TikTok every now and then, right? I saw a TikTok pop up, and it was the trailer for
It
Edge
was
of
their new
Fate.
shit.
Destiny.
Edge of Fate looks really damn good,
It looks
but
really fucking good.
I'm
It,
not
they're
again.
everything they're promising looks so good, and it's like I might. Oh, the pull is very
Sean
strong.
Guest
I
is gonna
never,
play it.
I've
But
never uninstalled it off my PS5, so it's still there.
oh, I did. I uninstalled it.
I
I
know
haven't
you
touched
did.
it in almost a year, and
So, has anyone gotten any word on the Nintendo Switch 2? We are less than a month before it launches.
I, I kind
no
of
new news, honestly.
no new news. I kind of stopped worrying about the Nintendo Switch 2 when they said it was going to be almost 500 bucks.
$500. Yeah.
And your point?
I don't enjoy Mario Kart or any of their exclusives enough to justify spending $500 on something I'm going to
Even
play once or twice a
hold on.
month.
Even then, what's that new Souls like that they've got coming out? What is it called?
I don't even remember the name of it because as soon as I heard the price tag for the console, I'm like, whatever,
Yeah,
don't care. It's not. It's not. That's
it's
not. enough for me to buy just one or two games
Well,
on Switch.
I'll tell you right now, me and Sweet Kitty Pie, we made the decision that we're gonna pass on the opening shots of that system.
Yep.
We're probably gonna wait about a good 4 or 5 months before we buy it, just to see how many bugs are in it and let all those bugs kind of get
Again,
smoothed out.
this kind of goes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when this came out. Why am I going to spend $500 on a Nintendo Switch?
Because you
Hold
want it.
on. When I can go out and buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series S for the same price and have access to plenty more games than what comes with the Switch 2.
Plus, you don't have to
because you
pay
got
for backwards compatibility.
because you got people out there who are loyal to Nintendo and will pay that. I think it's going to turn a hell of a profit for Nintendo. I really do.
So does Call of Duty, but that doesn't state that Call of Duty is good. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that it's good. Never once did I say it was good.
But again,
What I said was, is that they have a loyal following, and that I do think they are going to pull a profit off of this. I'm very curious to see what the sales are going to be looking like come June 15th when it's been out for a full week.
yeah. And again, this also comes back to I know we were talking about accountability a lot when it comes to when it comes to console prices and stuff like that. But again, you know, there are certain companies we can hold accountable because they are making wrong moves, and there are some companies that are making right moves that we can support. Nintendo is not is one of those companies that I feel like we need to hold accountable.
Oh, but we're not going to hold Rockstar accountable. Doubt it.
Right,
We're
because
not going to hold we're not going to hold Sony accountable. We're not going to hold Microsoft accountable
You missed the entire point. That just tells me you weren't listening. Oh wait,
who just announced that they're raising all of their prices.
this just tells
correct.
me you weren't
So
listening to what I
hold on.
just
You
said.
weren't listening to the
I was
to
listening.
either. No, you weren't. You weren't because if you would, you would have listened to the point. And the point was there's nuance when you're holding the industry accountable. I gave the whole analogy of you being Rockstar and Fireball being
Yeah,
Bethesda.
I get that. But what I'm saying is this is Nintendo has not failed us yet. They haven't. They put out some pretty shitty consoles every now and again. They
They
learned their lesson and they've been getting a lot stronger.
I got this Fireball.
If you would have talked to me back in when did the 3DS come out? I'm
2012?
trying to
No, that
remember.
was the Wii U. Ooh,
That was the Wii U.
I think it was like
oh
2010
goodness. It was probably
No, it was
28
before that.
or 2008.
because
I think it was
the
mid 2000s.
DS and DSi didn't come out until I think 2007.
That was when Nintendo hit rock bottom.
I mean,
That's when I thought Nintendo was going to be counted out, and then they come bouncing back.
I agree with you on that. And to the point that I say is we need to hold companies like he's Chris Ryder said 2013 is when the DSi or when the 3DS came out. He
I'm
believes.
looking at 2012 or
But
2011. Sorry,
again,
I'm looking it up.
there are certain
already found it. It's
companies
right there.
February
2011,
26, 2011 according to
2011.
Google.
Yeah. Yep.
But again, comes back to this. There are
That's
certain
probably for Japan. America probably got a later date release.
companies we need to hold accountable. And I'm not going to name names because I could jump down that rabbit hole and name all the names that I want to hold accountable. But there are only a select few companies within the gaming industry that I can actually praise that are doing a good job. Rockstar is one of them. That's all
But
I.
no, I understand the
Oh,
point that
okay.
Godfather is making.
I
Hold on,
know
hold
where.
on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand the point he's making because he's right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, half right. Nintendo has proven to me that I cannot trust them time and time again with their pricing specifically. They do make good content overall. However, time and time again, they've proven to me that I just genuinely can't really dive as much as I would like to into the Nintendo titles because they don't drop down in price ever. None of them are typically ever on discount, and when they are, it's like, all right, cool. But then they do things like this where you have to spend $90 If you want to play a game you owned on the Switch 1, i.e., Breath of the Wild, but you want to play it on your Switch 2, $90.
Well, get
That's
rid of your Switch.
ridiculous.
Again,
That's ridiculous. I'm
but
not,
this
no, I'm
also
just, hold on. I'm still in my point. That's ridiculous. I'm going to hold them accountable for that. I'm going to do my due diligence, not purchase that. When it comes to Sony, they have not released good gaming content and I don't know how long now. They keep giving us remasters. I have lost my faith in Sony as well. I am also holding them accountable. Now, when it comes to Xbox, they are on mighty thin ice. They are starting to delve into the realm of me not being able to rely on them. The only saving grace that they do have at this point in time is Xbox Game Pass. That is the only leeway they get, and that is it. I am tired of these companies thinking they can price gouge here and there, no matter what. You know, I did state previous episodes that it's more of a luxury thing. If you can't afford it, that's fine. However, I do want to state that these prices should not be predatory. That does not mean these prices should be predatory whatsoever. They should still be somewhat affordable to the average worker, right? Working a 9 to 5, your 40 hours, you should be able to afford some accommodations, like, say, purchasing a console and being able to play on it without any additional purchases for anything. Yet here we are, where you have to pay for online for Sony. You've had to for forever. It used to be Xbox, but now you can just play Xbox online no matter what.
hmm
You don't need a subscription for it.
and that
They
to
swapped. They switched what they were doing with that. So again, you can state that we don't hold them accountable, but at least exclude me out of this because I do hold them accountable. I haven't purchased a single Sony title. I even stopped playing on my PlayStation. I have not re-upped my PlayStation Plus membership. I have not done any of it. They don't deserve a single fucking cent from me. The same with Nintendo. The same that's probably going to be having the Xbox here soon if they don't fucking shape up.
Well, I just looked up something online, and normally what I find first is pretty. Oh, 13 hours ago. Never mind. Coming from Variety. Xbox price hikes are make or break moment for Game Pass. They're actually starting to talk about raising prices for Game Pass.
and if they
That's what
do
I told.
that, then there's
That's what I'm telling you. I literally told they're saving Grace's Game Pass right now, and if they fuck that up, all right, see ya. That
I
sucks.
mean, yeah. I
Well, I want to bring this point up real quick before
hold
anything
on.
else is said.
I was in queue. I was waiting for Chungus to be done. Are you done, Chungus?
Been
It
Okay.
done.
was
Yeah.
done.
I will say this. The only the reason why I'm holding Nintendo accountable is because with them releasing the Switch 2, they've talked about all the fantastic things that are on the Switch 2. But again,
Hmm.
their development technology is far behind what Xbox, PlayStation, and a PC has. They should not be charging the same amount for an Xbox or a PS5 when they don't have the same parameters or the same software parameters as those consoles.
And that's what June 5th to June 15th is going to prove.
You know what else is going to prove this point as well going forward? The fact that with Asus and Xbox partnering together to make their own handheld to rival the Steam Deck, something that's actually genuinely worth purchasing because it has the power to run games, decent games at that. Because not only let me just specify some of the specs that are for this, because this was leaked due to the fact of a post FCC certification, so details did get leaked. These are actual details. So the Xbox version of the Asus ROG Ally 2, it has a AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme APU. Comes with 64 gigabytes of memory and a 7-inch 120 hertz display. Um, Details like pricing and release date and OS details are currently unavailable. Not everything was gleaned from this leak. However, there were some things that we were able to get off of it. Um, I want to state as well, we do know that this handheld would be able to allow PC players to and to sorry allow users to play PC games along with Android games on the go, and it supports storefronts like Steam, GOG, and a couple of other ones actually. So pretty soon here, Nintendo's gonna have to step up their game too. They have the market with their exclusives. I'm not gonna lie. they're still going to be able to hold on because of that reason. But if they don't start shipping up their actual like console specs and not cheap out on them, because let's be honest here, the fact that they don't lower their prices, they should definitely be able to afford better hardware for a handheld. It's been proven that it is possible. Steam proved it. Asus is about to prove it with Xbox and Microsoft. So Nintendo, you better start stepping up because the market's gonna be depending on the pricing. I will state the market's gonna probably be a bit competitive
They're
here
not
now.
going to step up for at least 8 years.
And that's the other big thing that I had about when it came to Nintendo's their performance quality is so much lower than these consoles. That's why I can't gratify spending that kind of money on the Switch 2 because I don't play Nintendo games that much, or I don't play Nintendo games that religiously.
You
They go
remember a
up to
couple
dollar for
episodes ago?
dollar. Yeah,
You remember a couple episodes ago when it might have been before I left for California, but when I said that I was predicting that everything was going to go up because
real
Rockstar
world.
announced that Grand Theft Auto was going to be $100, and everybody was starting to freak out. That was before Xbox announced their price hikes. That is before Nintendo came out and announced their prices. I believe if we go back and we watch that episode, I said something to the effect of it's going to be monkey see, monkey do. The rest of the industry is going to see that Rockstar is getting away with spending with having the players spend $100. Now, the whether the value is there or not, that is debatable. Is not debatable on this show. We will all say that the value is there for Grand Theft Auto. But what I am saying is the rest of the industry is going to follow suit, whether they have the strength or not, and the consumer is going to end up paying it.
Again, I always
I'll, I, I'm just saying though that Rockstar came out with their price, the speculative price. They haven't said how much it's going to be
I was gonna
actually
say
yet.
it's all speculation, so I'm not
It,
gonna go
it's
off of
it's
that.
just speculation. But once that got out there like wildfire, then Nintendo came out and said they were raising their prices,
The thing
and
is,
now Xbox has come out and said
I
they're raising theirs.
I would like to state that these price announcements happen to coincide with real
Yeah,
world events. I'm not gonna like we never do. We will never go off of
no,
speculation here.
nope,
So speculative prices mean nothing when these companies don't even know what they're
yep.
potentially gonna price their thing at, and yet they're still raising prices due to real world
And
events,
all,
mind you. They're
yeah, and
taking
all I was
advantage of
saying,
it.
and all I was saying was the last couple episodes or last like three
Mhm.
episodes back that I made this comment, and I'll be damned
well,
if the dominoes are not falling into place.
well, and I remember a couple episodes too. Me talking about I do agree with dynamic pricing. There are certain games that do deserve to have that price tag,
Mm,
but there are other games
absolutely,
that don't. Mario
absolutely too.
Mario Kart 9 does not deserve that $90 price tag,
There is no such thing.
or whatever's next. Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart World,
Okay, Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World does not deserve that $90 price tag.
in your opinion.
Um, Expedition 33 does not deserve. I haven't played Expedition 33 yet. I don't.
I didn't even know there's a game like that.
I
Xbox
I
Game Pass game.
I know it's a Game Pass game, so I don't have to worry about paying that. What is it? 70, $80 it's gonna be.
It's already out. I don't know what you mean B.
Okay, I don't have when Doom: The
I'm looking it
Dark
up.
Ages
Don't worry.
comes out. I don't know what that price tag's gonna be, but I don't have to worry about that too. But I'm just gonna say this: if F125 were to come out and they say it's going to be an $80 game, I'm
So
not gonna buy
I
it.
just want to. I'm
It's not
unfortunately
worth
going to
80
have to
bucks.
fact check you real quick. Expedition 33 is $50
Okay, then
currently.
yeah, that's
They wanted, and the devs have stated they. I'll go back and actually read their statement here. Give me 1 second. Actually, sorry, went a little too far back in my history here. As they stated, the The relatively low price of Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is rooted in the desire to make the game as accessible as possible.
Yeah, but again, the Oblivion remaster being $50, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I mean, do
Even
I
more so that you get the DLCs with it too.
exactly? But people and video game companies releasing a base game at $90, if they haven't proven themselves,
See, the language you're using there implies that Nintendo hasn't proven themselves with their gameplay. Not every game is a hit with them, but I guarantee you, Mario Kart is one of them. They have I have yet to play a bad Mario Kart. I didn't play the handheld versions of Mario Kart. I've only played the mainline ones on the Wii, Wii
there's been a
U,
few.
and the Switch 2, or and the Switch, not the Switch 2. I wish I had a Switch 2, in the Switch.
There's been a few
And
Mario
I've
Kart
yet
games that I don't like.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I'm stating from looking from my perspective
Mm-hmm.
of only playing the mainline ones on the main consoles, they have not fucked up a Mario Kart. There have been tracks
I'm gonna
I
tell you,
don't like, but overall, those Mario Kart games, phenomenal.
and
I mean, we play Mario Kart 8 all the time. We always had a
yep.
blast. They've definitely proven that they can adjust their pricing. $90 is a bit much, unless looking at what the details they've given us that they're going to be putting in there, 24 player multiplayer.
Ooh, oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie, they're probably
Ooh.
gonna add in some new power ups. We don't know that yet. I haven't gotten all those specifics or anything like that. But just off of the features alone of what they're adding in, I could see that game being worth $90. However, that $90 would have to also include like a season pass or something. I'm sorry, that is a bit
Mm.
much. $90 is a bit much. 60 to 80 is right where that sweet spot is that they can adjust to. That's a good game. You're gonna get your money's worth. Again, dollar per hour here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you pay a dollar, you get a dollar, or you pay a dollar, you get an hour out of that. That's worth it, right? So again, $90 is not justifiable. However, they can adjust it a bit higher from a baseline of 50 or 60. Right, I will
Mm-hmm.
give them that leeway because they have proven that it is a
I
good
just
game.
again this is and this might be my own personal gripe when I say this, but I don't believe a racing game should be worth $90. Point blank. Period.
But yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I'm really not.
Unless you get
70, 80, maybe.
an open world game like the Crew was, but even then you would have to like triple the graphical standard and gameplay standard.
Okay, because this news is going to be old by the time we do get to that in a later episode. I do want to. I have two bits of news, just one bit of news. Speaking on Microsoft Xbox, um, Gears of War coming to the PlayStation.
I heard
I
that.
heard,
I saw that.
Not so. Sony now has Forza and Gears of War,
and they're
two of the three. Huh?
and just speculatory. This is allegedly
Hold on,
they're gonna have
hold on.
Halo as
Let me.
well.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Why you gotta ruin it? I was getting the build up going. You just ruined the flow, you motherfucker. I'm sitting there getting to that. Two of the three pillars of the Xbox series. Where's Halo at? You get
but
learn to be a presenter. God
but
damn it. God,
even
oh,
even then even
get us
then with
out. Take us
that,
out. Take us out of here. I'm done.
hold on. Here's my point.
Bullied me.
Even with that, we want to have a console war because again, competition creates innovation. There can be a console war, but at the same time, there can be at least some sort of cooperation. We're seeing no cooperation out of Sony.
We don't need to. Want to know why? Microsoft has got this console war in the bag for one simple reason. They're moving to be more of a marketplace more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
They won't have to sell consoles. They'll just
Yes.
they'll just have to sell games. And that's how they'll make their money and stay afloat. They can take risks like making a handheld. Sony can't do that again. You seen the PS Vita? Where's that at? Where's their last? They're not trying to do anything innovative right now. They're just trying to stay afloat.
Again, and I
And that's
think
like
that
saying,
this is the other thing that I think is going to happen with Xbox or with Microsoft. We've always talked about how they take a loss every single time they sell a console.
both companies have.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they've been
If
operating for the last couple decade.
if Microsoft cuts out the Xbox, which I don't think they're gonna, they might.
They will. Because they'll move more into the PC market. It won't even be a console anymore. It'll be a lower end PC. you can get Steam on it. You would be able to get. They are doing the smartest thing they ever could do, and that is innovate. Get with the times. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie to you. Like, I was a little skeptical when I first got into PC gaming back in like 2019, 2018. I was like, yeah, there's games on there I play, but like, whatever. But as the years gone on and the technology's gotten more powerful, and I can play games at like 120 frames, fucking 100 hertz, it looks amazing. It looks great. That's not what I need though. I'm not gonna lie. That's an added bonus. That's cool. But like, I can do everything on this PC that you could do on your console. I can do it better.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a single game that has been released on either of the consoles that I cannot play. The only company that is still holding strong with their exclusives is Nintendo, and even then, emulators and things of that nature, right? The little like pirate's hat goes on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like there are ways around it.
All right.
However,
Hold on. We got to get going. Mr.
no, we don't.
Long-winded,
We got plenty of time, so we got
Mr.
plenty of time.
Long-winded over here.
Buffer of 30 minutes will be okay.
But with that being said, we do have to get going. Excuse me. Sorry. Um, Tech guy, you wanna move us forward?
Well, who's going first? Who are you
I'll go
pointing at?
first. Screw it. Me.
Okay.
This
See,
guy.
you can't just say for me to do something and not whatever.
Well, if you were paying attention.
You didn't motion until I asked. So
Okay. All right. Well, so
I'm gonna kiss him softly.
we have started a playthrough of Star Trek Online from the beginning. Brand new character. I am streaming Mondays and Wednesdays, and I will announce on Thursdays when I'm going to be streaming on Fridays at 4 p.m. Central to 7 p.m. Central. You can catch me on the Nomad Gamers YouTube, Godfather on Facebook, and Godfather09 on Twitch. Come on over, even if you don't know nothing about Star Trek. I guarantee you're going to learn something. If not, you're going to learn how many cuss words I can say in one space battle. And I guarantee you it's a lot more than a baker's dozen. So tune in for that tomorrow night. Uh, is going to be Thirsty Thursday. We're going to take a spin around the block, see what the gaming news is. You're going to get my take on it. And then we are back here with the Nomad Gamers on Saturday. Actually, no. Well, we're going to be releasing it on Sunday, the episode. But yeah, other than that, hey, come join me for Thirsty Thursday and come join me for my gaming streams. With that, I believe it's going to Chungus next. Is that correct?
Sure. Hi.
Fun with Chungus, fun with Chungus.
So
Mute yourself.
this is unfortunate. This is why I didn't want to wrap up because I actually did have another piece of news, but that's okay. I just want to state that we do have confirmed characters for GTA 6 along with the map locations in and of themselves. Anyway, that's all. You can look for it yourself or just wait for the next episode and we'll probably talk about it. With that being said, expect the Boulder Skate 3 video this Friday. I'm actually excited about it. D&D happens to be something I'm pretty passionate about. So presenting a game, of
Is
it
it PG?
in this long form video format,
Take him
I'll be
backstage
pretty
so he
happy to
can't
do that.
interrupt us.
Oh, that's a great idea. I can just do this. And like it. So anyway, I'm excited to bring you that video. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm very excited about it. I hope you will be too. I hope you guys enjoy that. He's trying to yell, but like he can't. There's too much distance between us. He'd have to actually get up and maneuver over here, and he's not doing that right now. We're wrapping up. Anyway, sorry for being so long-winded. I'm gonna send it to Fireball.
For once, it wasn't me. I know. I'm supposed to be one of the three co-hosts on this damn show, and
Well,
it
none
seems
of us.
like I've
Sorry to
been.
interrupt, but none of us will be here Saturday, so it's fine. That's what Godfather forgot to mention. This
Oh,
Saturday specifically, you know why?
oh yeah. None of us will be available for Saturday, but we'll still try to get the episode out
You
for
will
you
still get
when
your
we can.
content.
Yeah, you will still
Yes.
get your content. Um, I've got nothing really planned. I'm going to be streaming on tomorrow, Thursday. I know I'm supposed to be streaming on Tuesday, but things are going to be flipping around just a bit, so I'm not overexerting myself. But I got nothing else for you.
Well, how did this get fucked up?
because you took a backstage.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
jerk.
right.
All right, I guess I'll take us out first. Same way we did our exits. Peace, love. God's father's out the door.
Thank you
Hurry,
guys.
hurry the fuck up. Hurry the fuck up. Hurry the fuck up. Hurry the fuck up, Fireball. You motherfucker. He moved so quickly. Too late now. Doesn't matter.
Thank
Go
you
ahead.
guys for watching the Nomad Gamers. As always, it's been a pleasure.
I might just sit here for 30 seconds and not say a word. Not say a word, but it's too late now. He's already ruined the moment I was gonna have. Anyway, this. Okay, he's moved far enough away. I have time. This is Kaiser Chungus Chow. You fucking dick.